Well, of course, that's the beautiful city of Nairobi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing tonight? My name is Kyallo. Welcome to TV47 Weekend Edition. Well, I hope you had a great day. If not, let me tell you, I'm here to make sure it ends really, really well. Tonight, of course, we have the top story from politics to the environment, everything, of course, in between. But apart from that, we have a very interesting conversation. Actually, I'm really happy and proud that I'm going to be part of this one. We have a fantastic panel of amazing gentlemen. We have George Diano, we have Roger Gitonga, Pastor Doc, and of course, our very own household name, Pastor Munene. And you know what we're talking about tonight? We're putting in focus the man. Naskia, the men of these days, they love themselves. They take care of themselves. They give themselves self-love. That's why apparently, I don't know if you saw earlier this week, there has been a conversation, where are the men? Well, that's the question we're going to be asking here tonight. It's going to be a fantastic show right here. You know what? Let's begin with the highlights. Internal disagreements emerge in ODM, primarily centered on its relationship with President William Ruto's administration and the party's future direction. Opposition coalition leaders criticized President Ruto for what they say were insulting remarks that are unbecoming of a leader of his stature. The 2025 World AIDS Day Half Marathon has officially been launched, signaling the start of nationwide initiatives dedicated to raising awareness and intensifying the fight against HIV and AIDS. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. Really, really happy that you could make time for us tonight. Well, we begin with our coverage tonight, and our sign language interpreter is Valen Oweno. Now, political tensions within the ODM party burst into the open during the party's 20th anniversary celebrations in Mombasa, as internal disagreements over the party's direction and its relationship with President William Ruto took center stage. Now, the divisions deepened further as leaders allied to Winnie Odinga questioned the effectiveness of the current leadership, including Oburu Odinga. Meanwhile, MP Babu Owino publicly criticized ODM's top brass for sidelining him during the celebrations. Apollo Kamau with the details.
ODM's 20th anniversary celebrations at Mama Ngina waterfront in Mombasa turned into a showdown of supremacy as rival camps within the party clashed. One group, led by young MPs, went head-to-head against the old guard during the festivities. Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, alongside Raila Odinga's daughter Winnie, called for a national delegates convention to determine the party's future within the broad-based government.
Kuna swali moja tu ama mbili ambaye tuna mitazamo tofauti. Na hiyo swali, mimi ningeomba viongozi wa ODM, sasa tusikize hawa watu wamekaa kwa tent hawa wamekaa kwa tent, watu waambie jibu ya ile maswali imetushinda sisi kama viongozi.
Mimi naambia hapa, niiteni nina hasira, yes nina hasira. Niiteni na nguruma, yes na nguruma. Lakini kabla kufikiria tutatoka sisi ODM, mutatoka nyinyi, kwa sababu ODM is in our blood.
The people of ODM have leadership, and they expect leadership from those leaders. If you don't want to lead them, if ourselves we are confused, let us not bring that confusion to the ODM people. That is the position. Otherwise, kila mtu atakuwa na kipande chake cha ODM.
Questions were raised over party leader Oburu Oginga's leadership, specifically his ability to steer ODM in the broad-based government and hold President William Ruto accountable over his memorandum of understanding with Odinga.
The people of ODM entrusted one person with the management of that relationship, and that person was Baba Raila Odinga. That relationship is complicated, and therefore we are looking and we are wondering, those that are taking it upon themselves to manage it now, Are they capable of managing that relationship?
Ninamwambia hiyo mtoto yangu tutaongea na yeye kinyumbani. Nitamwambia kinyumbani.
Ukitukujia tunakukujia, ukileta noma, ukileta mbaya. Tuelewane namna hiyo. I did not sacrifice my life for nothing to follow the party ODM.
The debate also brought Embakasi East MP Babu Owino into the spotlight as he criticized party leaders for sidelining him from leadership positions while calling for protests against the Ruto administration.
Wadozi, mliangalia huyu Babu Owino mkaona hawezi tosha kiti yeyote. Kwa hivyo mfikirie hiyo, gharama ya maisha ikienda juu, tutaenda maandamano. Wapende, wasipende.
Washindwe wenye kutaka maandamano.
A section of the crowd, dissatisfied with the party's performance in the broad-based government, walked out as ODM cabinet secretaries began delivering their speeches. What was supposed to be a celebration of 20 years for the Orange Party turned into a full-blown political war for the control of the Orange Party and the party's future in the broad-based government. Apul Kamau, TV47 in Mombasa County.
Well, thanks, Apollo, for that. Moving on, a month after the passing of ODM's founding leader, the party's 20th anniversary celebrations transformed into a solemn moment for remembrance. Emotion ran high as chants, hymns and messages of tribute filled the air, painting a picture of a nation still coming to terms with the loss of one of its most influential political figures. Our reporter Quinto Afula attended the ceremony and now brings us this report.
At Mamangina waterfront in Mombasa, ODM supporters stand up in large numbers to commemorate the party's two-decade journey. This came as Raila's family used the occasion to continue honoring and mourning their loved one, raising questions about the political direction the family and the party will take going forward.
Mimi ninajua hakuna hata siku moja Oburu Odinga amewahi kusaliti ndugu yake Oburu Raila Amolo Odinga.
His daughter Winnie Odinga and son Raila Jr. acknowledged the significant void their father left both within the family and in the ODM party, adding that it is now time to accept the reality and focus on serving Kenyans in the future in line with their father's dreams.
For the first time you have made me feel imeisha hapa leo. It's time for us to move on. You've given me peace today.
Haijakuwa rahisi sana. Baju tunajua baba angetaka tukue huku. Ndo tumefika.
Raila's elder brother Oburu Odinga, now the new ODM party leader, said he is yet to come to terms with Raila's death. He reflected on their 80-year bond as brothers and 2 decades of working together in politics, describing the journey as one filled with unforgettable memories.
Ndugu yangu ambaye tumepoteza na mpaka sasa mimi sijaamini Raila hayuko. Mimi bado ninalia.
One attendee noted that Raila's generosity inspired him to travel all the way from Kisii to Mombasa to pay his respects, remembering how Raila came through for him during a time of tragedy.
Nimekuja kuomboleza baba siku ya leo wakati nilipata ajali na baba alinisaidia sana, nilikuwa kwa hali mbaya.
Quinto Wafula, TV47 Mombasa.
Opposition leaders on Saturday joined the Wamanyoro community in Nyeri County for the consecration of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's wife, the former, of course, Dorcas Rigathi Gachagua, to the rank of Reverend. But the event quickly turned political, with the leaders using the occasion to sharply criticize President William Ruto over what they described as unbecoming and offensive remarks, arguing that such language is unbefitting for the head of state. Kyallo has the details.
Like members of one extended family, leaders and guests came together once again, this time for the unique ordination ceremony of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's wife, Dorcas Rigathi. Gachagua deliberately steered clear of political discussions, to ensure the ceremony remained focused. However, his close allies could not hide their irritation over President William Ruto's recent remarks, which they describe as insulting, a sentiment echoed by PLP party leader Martha Karua during his visit to Tana River County.
The kind of language we are hearing in Kenya today, kuita watu hawana akili, kusema watu hawana agenda, that language is very unpresidential and not befitting of that office.
Na mimi naambia Dr. William Ruto, sababu anakasirika sana na anaonyesha hasira mpaka kule Machakos ametusi watu. Mtu akisema watu ni stupid, sasa ni kiongozi gani anaenda akiita watu stupid hadharani?
Jubilee party leader Fred Matiang'i also criticized the president's comments, urging Ruto and his government to listen attentively to religious leaders.
And I want to ask our national leaders, His Excellency, our President and the government, please listen to the clergy, listen to the religious leaders of our country.
The leaders further encouraged Reverend Dorcas Rigathi to embrace her new role by praying for the nation, particularly for those facing hardship and oppression.
I want to call upon the people and the men and women of God that are here to intercede for this country.
Zidi kutuombea, maombi yako ndio inafanya wengine wetu tunaishi mpaka sasa hivi.
They also called on her to mobilize the church in prayers for the opposition as they seek to ascend to State House.
These are not ordinary times, and therefore, let us all take our position. Our sister, may God go with you. May He give you the strength to continue holding this brother of mine. He has been down, but he is now strong.
Gachagua congratulated his wife, describing her as a champion for the vulnerable, an advocate for the boy child, and a steadfast partner at difficult times. In response, she expressed her heartfelt gratitude to the family and the church community for their unwavering support throughout her journey.
This great woman of God, when we were in office, was so passionate about the boy child. I saw very little of her. I would go to work, she would go to work, we meet in the evening. Sometimes she finds me asleep. And when she woke up in the morning, she was just talking about the boy child.
Mike Kyallo, TV47.
Excellency. Now, the National Liberal Party is condemning what it calls dishonorable conduct by the Wiper Democratic Movement during the Mumbuni North by-election. Now, NLP accuses Wiper of parading its duly nominated candidate, called Brothers Mutisia, also known as Mutisia Wangai, and falsely claiming he had withdrawn from the race. Now, the party has clarified that Mutisia remains on the ballot and has not resigned or stepped down, dismissing Wiper's announcement as deceptive and politically unethical. All right, now, police in Mombasa have arrested a prominent city lawyer suspected of involvement in terrorism financing, including using cryptocurrency platforms and allegedly aiding radicalization. Well, Mombasa Police Commander Peter Kimani says the lawyer, who has not been named, had been on investigation for a long time and is linked to a wider network of suspects still being monitored. The suspect is expected to appear in court on Monday, where the charges will be presented.
Facilitating the ISIS radicalization, recruitment and financing of such activities in the country. This, I want to say, is a major breakthrough in terms of investigation of cybercrime, cybersecurity, and advancement of investigation through cyber. It is very, very bad for a lawyer to be the one who is leading such adverse activities against the country, and in particular the ISIS. You are aware about their activities.
Now, moving on, tension remains high in Kiunga, Lamu County, where residents have taken to the streets to protest a rising wave of abductions and enforced disappearances targeting local individuals. Now, angry and distressed community members marched through Kiunga town, demanding urgent government intervention, saying the trend has left many families living in fear. And as Samira Mohammed now tells us, residents accuse certain security agencies of involvement or negligence, insisting that the state must step in to stop what they describe as a worrying pattern of disappearances. Take a look.
Tension and fear have crippled the border township of Kiunga in Lamu County, as unexplained forced disappearances and abductions have taken precedence over the rule of law, sparking demonstration on Lamu Island led by human rights group Haki Africa.
Turudishiwe mabwana zetu, sisi tunapitia changamoto. Sasa nimetoka kwa nyuma, mtoto ananiambia unaenda kumchukua babangu, amekuja. Naambia baba atakuja, subirini tu. Nitamtoa wapi? Watu wake wanaulizia bwana ameenda wapi? Mimi sijui na sijui aliyembeba.
Pointing fingers at security agencies, residents are pleading with the national government to intervene and ensure that security operations in the designated Kiunga area are conducted strictly in accordance with the rule of law.
Mwezi mmoja sasa hii watu watatu wameweza kuchukuliwa na hatujui ni watu gani, kwa sababu serikali tukiuliza watuambia sisi hatujui, na sisi pia hatuwajui ni watu gani ambao wanawachukua. Lakini hata kama magosti, serikali yafaa kujua hawa magosti wametoka juu wakaja wakawachukua, kwa sababu sisi tualindwa na serikali.
Huwezi kuniambia mtu ako Kiunga amechukuliwa na serikali hajui. Basi sasa usalama kazi yao nini kama hawezi kujua mtu amechukuliwa na tunaambiwa hajulikani? Hiyo haingii akilini. Na kama ni mtu criminal washiko, hatuna haja na mtu criminal.
According to Haki Africa, at least 10 people have allegedly been abducted in the recent months, with 3 cases reported within the past month. The group warns that if the situation is not addressed, it could escalate into a serious security and humanitarian crisis.
Wananchi wa Kiunga tumepewa takwimu hapa, karibu watu 10 wameweza kuchukuliwa, ile tunaita enforced disappearance. Na mwaka huu watatu hivi juzi wameweza kuchukuliwa. Na hapa kuna kambi za jeshi, kuna askari, kuna NIS ambao wako hapa tukidhania wanalinda wananchi haya mambo yasitokee. Kwa hivyo tunawauliza viongozi wa serikali kwamba wale ambao tayari wamepotezwa, tafadhali muwarudishe.
Samira Mohammed for TV47.
The 2025 World AIDS Day Half Marathon has officially been launched, kicking off a series of nationwide activities aimed at raising awareness and strengthening the fight against HIV/AIDS. Now, the event brings together health officials, youth groups and advocacy organizations in a renewed effort to promote testing, prevention and stigma reduction. Our reporter Faith Wangare has the details.
Kenya continues to make steady progress in tackling HIV and AIDS through expanding testing, wider treatment access and the stronger community awareness, but lingering stigma, new infections among youth and treatment interruptions remain key challenges in the country is still working to overcome.
Currently, living with HIV is no longer a death sentence, and we have to clap for ourselves for that journey and the work that we have done in making sure that we reduce stigma, if not eliminate it, in making sure that all of our brothers and sisters and loved ones that are living positively.
The World AIDS Half Marathon Launch 2025 is meant to set the stage for national awareness campaigns ahead of the World AIDS Day, using the marathon to promote HIV testing, treatment adherence and stigma reduction, and community solidarity. It aims to mobilize the public, raise funds for prevention programs, and strengthen the push towards an AIDS-free generation through sports advocacy and health education.
We have to work harder, to end AIDS and to end new infections, right? And that work we have to do together.
The event will bring together athletes, health workers, advocacy groups, and community members, with proceeds directed toward HIV prevention programs and supporting vulnerable groups. Participants are encouraged to register early, as the marathon is expected to attract a large turnout from across the country. Faith Wangare for TV47, Nairobi.
All right, now listen to this next story. Now, Two sisters have made history after choosing to exchange vows on the same day, but listen, each with their own groom. Now, in a beautifully coordinated shared wedding ceremony, the elder sister had been planning her big day for months, while the younger sister fast-tracked her own wedding due to personal circumstances. Now, with the blessings of their family, the two decided to celebrate their unions together in one memorable event. Suzanne Locho has the details.
In a world where every love story follows a unique path, some moments outstand others. Today, under a sky filled with hope, two sisters walked down the aisle, not as bridesmaids, but as brides.
Husband and wife.
Their journeys were completely different. The older sister had planned her wedding for a long time, counting down every moment with excitement and anticipation. But life, in its unpredictable way, introduced an unexpected twist. For the younger sister and her groom, their wedding had been set for next year, but true love doesn't always follow a timetable.
My sister was like, oh, yeah, that one can work. Yeah, and then last year in December, our mom had a dream pertaining the same.
Only 3 weeks ago, faced with unavoidable personal circumstances, the younger sister and her groom made a bold decision to move forward together and tie the knot on the same day as the elder sister.
I came into terms. Actually, we have planned, leave alone the others, the other couple, ours. We have planned this wedding in 3 weeks' time.
And that's how the two love stories converged. Two brides, two grooms, and a single unforgettable celebration. Even the officiating pastor couldn't hide his joy, describing the event as one unlike anything he had witnessed in his years of uniting couples.
Kwa hiyo imekuwa ni mara yangu ya kwanza kufanya sherehe kama hii, na tunashukuru sana.
Susan Locho, TV47.
Well, honestly, I just love, that union. I don't know if me and my sisters would agree to do this thing on the same day, but honestly, they look quite happy. And also cutting budgets, with this economy. But, all the best to the newlyweds. Let's now move on, of course, to some business news. And the Jumuiya County, Yapwani, has kicked off preparations for the World War I commemorations with a strong focus on leveraging military heritage sites and other historical landmarks in Taita Taveta County to stimulate economic activity and increase tourist numbers across the coast region. While speaking in Mombasa, tourism stakeholders called for the formation of a special committee bringing together all key partners to ensure the coast region fully benefits from its rich resources and expands its tourism opportunities. Now, the chairperson of the Kenya Wildlife Service, retired Lieutenant General Walter Ko Ipaton, noted that the coast region has immense potential to drive economic growth through tourism.
The triple helix, where we needed to bring in industry, we need to bring in academia, the three universities, Taita Taveta, Pwani University, and Technical University of Mombasa.
Brings issues of a military element in it, and the war fighting, and history. It brings community issues, whether the communities who suffered at the time or the communities that live there today. It brings an element of tourism. It brings an element of education in terms of the museum and the education thereon. It brings in culture, sports, and youth.
Collaborating together, and let's keep on collaborating more and more, but involve also governors, as I said earlier on, so that some of these things, they require heavy decisions, especially when it comes to monetary, to manage. It's quite difficult for you guys to do.
All right, so that's what we had, of course, for business. Let's get straight into sports. All right, now Harambee Stars now shift their focus to a high-profile clash against former African champions Senegal after suffering a narrow 1-0 defeat to Equatorial Guinea in an international friendly at the Emir Complex in Antalya, Turkey on Friday evening, that was. Now, the first half strike from Jose Miranda handed Nzalang National after their first ever victory over Kenya in 2 meetings. Head coach Benin McCarthy attempted to spark a late resurgence by the introduction of Odinga and Ovela Ocheng in a double substitution in the 70th minute to add creativity and pace. But Equatorial Guinea remained compact and disciplined, frustrating Kenya's build-up and limiting their attacking threat. The Senegal fixture will close out Kenya's November international window as McCarthy continues to sharpen his squad under his new technical direction.
Shot long, play long, yes. Shot again, play long,
Mathare United extended their impressive run with a commanding 2-0 victory over Kakamega Homeboys as the Kenya Premier League weekend fixtures delivered thrilling action across the country. Now, Bandari also bagged maximum points over a similar win over Sofapaka, while Posta Rangers and Mara Sugar shared spoils in a hard-fought 1-1 draw. Attention now shifts to tomorrow's fixtures, where Tusker FC, Battle Police FC, Moranga Seal face AFC Leopards, and APS Bomet host Ulinzi Stars in another exciting round of league football.
1-4-3-1-2 na kidogo ikatutatiza kwa sababu kulikuwa opponent alianza kutumia switch of play, na wakati alianza kucheza na mafullbacki ambao hawakuwa marked, I think hiyo ndio ilitufanya tulete wingers, na I think vile wingers wamekuja, kitu ya kwanza defensively wametupatia kitu, pia offensively pia wametupatia a big boost.
Tumepoteza, manake naona watu wa Mathare wamepata chances zao wakatumia half chances. Sisi tumepata a lot of chances, full chances, lakini hatukutumia. Nadhani hiyo ndio the main cause. Tulikuwa tumefanya sana kazi katika kudefend crosses, tulikuwa tumesema tufungwe na crosses this time around. But again, imehappen again, tumefungwa na crosses. So ni tatizo kwetu. Na cha msingi tuifanye kazi haraka iwezekanavyo ili tuweze kuzuia such goals. Manake kuna a lot of careless play katika flank plays. Na hizo zinakosa hizo vitu zote.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is TV47 Weekend Edition. We've finished, of course, with the top stories of the day. So I hope you're really well informed and updated. But like I mentioned when we opened the show, tonight we have a very interesting discussion. And I have a panel of gentlemen. The studio definitely full of testosterone. How are you doing? Oh, great. You see the gentlemen. All right, let me start, of course. Roger Gitonga, it's great to see you. ACCA expert. What is ACCA?
It's the largest accounting professional body in the world.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm the only expert in Africa for that.
Oh, wow. Yes. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, mathematics was not my... All right. And we also have this guy, by the way. I don't know why you call yourself Mlalahoi. I saw the tweet you made earlier.
Because I'm one. Mlalahoi.
That's George. And he's, okay, apart from being very popular on X, let me tell you, when I said he was coming on the show, my notifications, Pastor Doc, they were just like, rah, rah. So it's great to have you here. He's a digital strategist, among so many other things. And Pastor Doc, you know, let me just say hi. I know Shmezoyana, like how are you doing? Say hi to everybody.
All right, hello everyone, how are you?
Singles and the city.
Kabisa.
Are the singles, you know, are they reducing? They're still...
They are reducing with the right knowledge.
Yeah.
We keep injecting the right knowledge so that singles can make the right decisions.
Absolutely.
For their future.
You're doing God's work.
Yes.
So guys, it's going to be a fantastic show on Say What. Be ready, of course, to talk to us on our lines, on WhatsApp, everywhere. And of course, chime in into the conversation. Let's take a break. We'll be back.